Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, I have a very special guest with me today. She is a nail artist. Please welcome Nailed by Liv. Hello, Liv, and welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. So, I want to go ahead and get started by asking where you're originally from and tell us about your upbringing.
Right, so I am from Dearborn, Michigan, born and raised. 23 years old. I had a fairly normal upbringing.
Mhm.
I got into the nail industry about 3 years ago. I remember in high school and middle school being always like very interested in nails or just like in
Mhm.
the beauty industry in general.
Right.
I remember in high school I would bring makeup to class, do girls' brows and makeups during class, or do like events like prom,
Right.
homecoming. So I was very into makeup at the time, I would say, at a young age in high school, but wasn't really sure about nails. I would do nails on myself, but not on other
Mhm.
people yet. So I feel like
Mhm.
coming out of high school, I was very unsure of where I wanted to go
Right.
because it was mainly like, oh, you get out of high school and you go straight to college. But I was interested in beauty and I heard like, oh, like you can't make money in the beauty industry, this and that, like if you're
Mhm.
not really good. So it kind of like makes you feel away and you're like, oh, can I do it?
Mhm.
Can I not? So I kind of shied away from that and just went into college and didn't really
Mhm.
think about that at the time.
Mhm. So, what college did you go to and what did you study?
So I went to CMU my first year, Central Michigan University. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I was just going into like general business.
Mhm.
I knew I wanted to be like in the fashion and beauty industry,
Mhm.
so I was taking like fashion courses, like garment courses and stuff like that. But it wasn't really like my thing doing clothing. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can do like fashion merchandising, like selling the clothes.
Mhm.
Um, didn't really like CMU, so I then transferred to Ferris State and did the same kind of thing. And then
Mhm.
when I came back home for spring break, that's when COVID hit. So
Mhm.
nobody ended up going back and everybody was stuck at home. So I'm like,
Right.
oh, I need a hobby. So I
Mhm.
saw a TikTok of this girl doing Gel-X nails from home. And I'm like, oh, let me try to do nails. So I bought the whole
Mhm.
Gel-X Spray kit, and
Mhm.
that's kind of where it started. And I was just taking friends and stuff and practicing on myself, and that soon just like kind of developed into taking on actual clients.
Mhm. Yeah, that's cool because the thing is that, and what I find so weird that people say, like how you were saying that, people think that you can't make money in beauty or that you can't make money,
Hmm.
especially being an artist. You
Yes,
know, that's the thing. So it's like, you can make money doing this, and
yeah,
it's
you
just
can make
like,
crazy money, and
mhm,
people don't realize it. I feel like you just need to dedicate like and devote yourself to your craft. And the people that don't, I feel like, are the people that say like, "Oh, you can't make money in the
mhm.
music industry." Like, no, you can make a lot of money if you're good at what you do.
Yeah, right, exactly. Either that or just people that is not in the industry like we are.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
we gotta remember, like the nail industry is another creative industry.
Yep.
It's an art form. It's like, painting, illustrating, digital
Mhm.
art, animation. You know what I mean? And of course, people don't see beauty as that way, but beauty is actually a creative type of industry.
Yes. Yep. I agree.
That's something that I think people should, be more fond of. Just like with fashion. Fashion is another creative industry.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There's another art form. There's an art form to fashion. But I definitely want to push forward and talk about, who or what exposed you to the nail industry.
Right. So, I would say at a young age, like my mom was the first person to kind of expose me to the nail industry.
Hmm.
I remember going with her to the nail salon and just like watching her get her nails done and getting like the kid mani and pedi done. And
Right.
so, yeah, she definitely exposed me to that. And it's funny because when I was like around 6 or 7 years old, my mom created like hobby rooms in the house for me and my sister. And my sister was like really into sewing. So she would sew
Hmm.
like have a sewing machine and sew pillows and blankets. And I was like, I want to do nails. And so she made a nail studio room for me. I would take like family members as clients and had like receipt books and stuff like that. And
Right.
before it was Nailed by Liv, it was actually Livy's Lovely Nails. So it was like the OG name.
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
Yeah.
I definitely want to ask, like, how can you describe your nail style?
I would say my nail style is quite versatile. I am like super into girly nails, but
Mhm.
I feel like I get a lot of like different types of clients. Like I get really girly clients, I get kind of grungy, edgy, funky clients. So I'm
Mhm.
kind of like forced to learn different styles to accommodate to like their style and their
Mhm.
personality, which I love though, because it pushes me like out of my comfort zone to do things that I don't normally do. And so I definitely say I'm pretty quite well rounded, but I love all
Mhm.
styles right now. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's so many styles out right
so many,
now.
and it's like you can't even name them all. It's like it's all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. Now, you work with Janessa at her
Mhm.
nail salon called Faness. So,
Yeah.
how did you meet Janessa, and what's the experience like working in a salon?
Yep. So, year one, I was working at from home, and I had like a nail studio built into my room, like in a
Mhm.
little corner. At the time, I was taking like clients for tip money, and then that soon transferred to like finding other people. And I actually had a client who was her friend, and her
Mhm.
friend told her about me, and she was like, "Hey, this girl's like dope, like she's in Dearborn." So she came to check me out and get her nails done. And at the time, I was like, that was
Mhm.
my icon girl. Like I love Janessa and her nails. So I'm like, this girl wants to come get her nails done by me. Like this was the girl on Instagram. So I'm like, oh yeah, I canceled my whole day and I took her that morning, like at 8 a.m. And we talked, and she was at the time like wanting to bring in girls to create a team. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm doing anything. I'll do anything to be a part of your team. Like I'll drop everything.
Mhm.
So we then went to Southfield. We had a studio in Southfield. Well, she did, and me
Mhm.
and this other girl, Groovy Nails by B, were that was us at the team at the time. Me, Janessa, and B, and we were working
Mhm.
with the studio in Southfield. The team then grew to Lacey, and
Mhm.
now we have 6 girls, and we have a storefront in Detroit. And we came up on our 1 year in June 1st, so really
Mhm.
awesome. But I love Janessa. I owe a lot of like my success and talent, I feel like, to her, because I didn't know how to paint when I first started doing nails. Like I didn't view myself as artistic. So she really like pushed me and helped me and taught me so much. So
Mhm.
I love her, and I feel like the salon has become my second home, and I just
Mhm.
view all the girls I work with as family. We're like very tight knit, and I feel like in this industry, it's not really common to see that. I feel like
Mhm.
a lot of competitiveness, and
Right.
see that. So being a part of a team that's so like
Mhm.
kind and helping, it's different. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. That's a cool
Yeah.
story. I definitely want to push forward and talk about like, salon experiences. So with
Right.
your experience having your own, salon studio,
Mhm.
and working at a salon, like have you ever had an experience in with a difficult client? What has that been if you have experienced that?
Yeah, I've definitely experienced difficult clients. I'm sure every nail tech has.
Yeah, 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 right.
So you get that few bunch where it's like, but I feel like it's frustrating to a point, but you have to keep your composure in this industry, and you have to
Mhm.
provide the best services possible that you can, and be very transparent and communicate with the client as best as possible so you don't get
Mhm.
a bad outcome. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I feel like being in those kind of sticky situations is difficult, but you have to make the best of it that you can and try to accommodate them the
Mhm.
best that you can. But I do definitely feel like not every artist is for every client, and every client is not for every artist.
Mhm.
And I feel like that should be normalized, because some people
Right.
are like, "Oh, you just don't want to take me." I'm like, no, like sometimes the vibe just doesn't fit, and that's okay.
Right.
Like, there is an artist for you. So yeah, I feel
Mhm.
like it's difficult, but it's definitely doable.
Absolutely. I want to move forward and talk about Fashion Week. So you've done nails for certain fashion shows during Fashion Week.
Yes.
You've you worked alongside with Nails by May
Yes,
doing
that's
nails.
awesome.
So that was really, really, really cool. But I definitely want to go ahead and ask, like, what was that whole experience doing Fashion Week, and especially meeting other nail artists too?
Yeah, no, it's dope. So when we did the nails with May, we assisted her. It was at the time me, Janessa, and B. We worked
Hmm.
as a team to assist her, and it was our first ever fashion show. And
Mm.
we had no idea what we were doing at the time. She just reached out to one of us and was like, "Hey, like I need assistance." And then when we found out it was Bottega, we like lost it. We were like, we are doing nails for a fashion show. So it was awesome. Awesome experience. I'm so glad I got to experience that with them too. But yeah, it was a lot. It was very different because we've never done anything like that. Well, I know I haven't. It was like my first year at the time or second year. So everything was so new to me. But it was an awesome experience. But I would say it was difficult too because I wasn't used to like the fast pacedness of it. I was used to just like being in a chair with the client and taking your time and talking. And in New York and even in Detroit for Bottega, it was like, oh no, you're on the ground, like crunched in the position on the floor, doing toes with the like a hairstylist, doing the hair and the makeup artist too. So it's like it's very different. But I feel like after we finished and we just all looked at each other and started crying because we were like felt so just accomplished and we were so proud of ourselves. So yeah, that was awesome.
Now, what have been some of the things that you've learned during Fashion Week, but also would you do it again?
Yes, I would do it again. I know when I went for New York, that was a big like learning lesson for me. I feel like going out on my own was extremely scary because I didn't go with the team. I just reached out to like agencies and lead artists and I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna go out in New York and see if I can get some work and some opportunity to meet some people. And I reached out to so many people, maybe like 50 to 100 people. And I didn't think I was gonna get any responses. So I'm like, oh, little old me, like, who cares? But no, I actually got a lot of responses, and I actually ended up working with Gina Edwards for Prabal Gurung as well as Love Shack Nancy. And in the beginning, it was very intimidating going in there and doing it on my own and not knowing any of these people that all knew each other and already had a team together. So I was kind of like an outsider at the time, but they were very welcoming and kind. So New York was different than Bottega. I said very fast paced as well, and just a different type of environment that I wasn't used to. But I did learn a lot from them, and I loved working with them, and I do look forward to working with Gina in September too. So I made great connections as well.
I definitely want to move on and talk about this one topic.
Yeah.
What is your perspective in regards to, you know, nails having an impact on fashion and pop culture in your perspective, Olivia?
Yeah. So I feel like the nail industry, like pop culture and what was the other one you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, fashion and pop culture.
Fashion and pop culture. It has a huge impact. Like nails, you can pull inspiration from all forms of art for nails. And so like you can do that with fashion, like with clothing garments. You can do that with like architecture, actual art, music. Like I feel like you can do that with all of those forms. So like nail is also a form of art. So it just all ties in together, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and plus you got celebrities wearing nails on a red carpet and things like that. You know, Megan Thee Stallion, Sweetie.
Pieces too.
Yeah, very, very cool pieces. You know, especially Megan. Like she always getting nails done with manga and different designs.
She goes hard on those nails.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, Coco Michelle, like she slays those nails.
Yeah, no, she's very hard. She's really good.
Yeah, right. I totally agree with that. Now, there's so many trends that are out now, like how we talked about before in this interview. I definitely want to really, you know, get into your interview with Voyage Michigan because you said, quoting, you're known for a killer French tip.
Yes.
So, in your perspective, what is about the French tip that you really love?
I just love how clean and like simple and elegant and timeless a French tip is. Like French tips have been around forever, and it's just like an amazingly clean look. It can go with anything, but they look simple, but they are not simple to do. I will say that. Like when I first started doing nails, I was in Dearborn, and I feel like my clientele at the time was extremely girly. All they wanted to do was natural nails and Frenches. I sucked at a French tip. I had to do a French tip a million times over. So I feel like that's what got me to the point where I would just like master the French, and I'm like, oh, I can do a killer French. So if you want a French, come to me. So that's really like where I was at with that. But yeah, I love still doing Frenches to this day.
Yeah, it's really cool. Now, is there any other nail trends you like besides the French tip?
Yeah, I am super into airbrushing right now. I took a class with Nail Jerks about a year back. I learned so much from her. She's awesome. I love her. And I'm really into texture right now too. I feel like the clay 3D elements are really like popping right now, especially like Dev's line or like the Sissy line. So I feel like that's super in and super trendy. But I think it's sweet. Like you can make anything you want on a nail and build it up. And so yeah, I think those are big trends right now going on.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you can do anything on a canvas, a small
Yeah.
canvas such as a nail. The possibilities are so endless, and that's
Mhm.
what I like about the industry now, is that everyone is so expressive in their own way. Duck nails are coming back, so people are doing duck
Yes,
nails.
are going back, and surprisingly, I kind of actually like them.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I just love how like nails by Kitty X and nails by KD and Pink's
Yeah,
Artistry do the duck nails because they slay those.
they
In
do.
my
And it
opinion.
looks sweet, and it's very like 2000s vibes. But I feel like Y2K is super in right now too. So it's just like everyone's gravitating towards
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, I actually kind of like it. I want a Prey to drop a duck nail, kind of.
Yeah. That would have been really, really
That would
cool.
be cool.
You know what I mean? Like also the bling nails are still in.
Yeah.
I know there's like Korean nail artists that do like the bling nails. And I love how they put it together. And they're
Yes.
just so like, tedious with it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's really, really cool. Now, in regards to nail products, what are some of your favorite nail products to use in regards to nail services and nail art?
Right. So I am like an Prey advocate. I love Prey. Love,
Mhm,
love, love them. I use their extension tips, their prep, their bits, their
mhm,
gel polish. I feel like they're just dropping so many products right now, and the products are great. Like I haven't
right.
had issues with any of them. So I love Prey. I love Coupa for their top coats. I feel like I have not found a top coat that beats Coupa. Um,
Mhm,
but I would say those two are like my big ones, and as well as like regards to like doing nail art for airbrushing. I learned when I took the classes with nail jerks that to use the AirTech
mhm,
system, because at the time I was using like an Amazon one with like $50, like cheap paints and stuff. But
mhm,
I definitely invested a lot of money into the AirTech system with the compressor, the gun, and I see
mhm,
a huge difference in like the outcome of
mhm,
my art with those products. So yeah, those are big ones.
mhm. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Yeah, I'm into like, like the 3D clay gel
Yeah,
that's out now. Like I love the 3D clay gel.
it's so sweet.
I recently put out a nail set that I did with the 3D gel, and I was like, this is so fun.
I gotta go see it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a mushroom design that I did.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, like there's so many things you could do with 3D art,
Yeah,
and also like with the Prey, their gel colors, they are the truth.
they are. They're so
Truth.
rich, pigmented, and
Right.
just so seamless. I have not seen polishes that beat them. And I really like the first line that they dropped, the ones with the French tip brushes. I feel
Mhm.
like those polishes in particular though are very thick and rich, and it's like you don't even need two coats if you're using them.
Right.
You just need one and you're good. I have
Yeah.
found polishes that beat a Prey.
Yeah, right, exactly. But also I think there's certain like Amazon, brands that, have like that highly pigmented like feel to it because I
Yeah, no.
have like these potted gels. They're called
Mhm.
Savalind,
Okay.
and they're on like Amazon. So you can for like 20-30 bucks.
Okay.
And they're some of the colors are very rich, pigmented and things, and all you need is just one coat.
Yeah.
I think another brand is Nails by Deb. I'm about to try her
Oh,
stuff.
girl, I went to the premiere beauty what was it convention not last week but the week before, and I went to her booth and I was stocking up. I'm like, give me more. I loved it.
Yeah. How was that experience in Premier Orlando? How was
Oh,
it like
it was
meeting her?
awesome. I was so nervous. It was so many people. I went by myself again because I'm like, I asked the team if they wanted to come, but everyone was so busy. Janessa's pregnant right now, about to have birth, so she couldn't come.
Oh.
The other girls are going to school, and
Mhm,
just a lot of busy. So, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out and do this on my own. I went and it was huge. There was so many nail vendors. It was really awesome.
mhm.
Prey was there too, which was awesome because it's like everything was discounted to like 20% off. So I
Wow.
stocked up on a lot of that stuff. And then just seeing Dev and like everybody that she brought with her, it was awesome.
Mhm,
It's like all like the nail girls you see on Instagram that you look up to and stuff. See
mhm.
them all in person and you're watching them do art and you're like, this is amazing. So yeah,
Right.
it was awesome. I loved it. I definitely go back again next year.
Yeah, I gotta go to Premiere because I've never been to Premiere.
It was
And the
awesome.
thing is that what I like about Nails by Dev is that not only she's about the quality of her products, but she's also
Mhm.
about diversity in her team. That's a really respect
Yes.
about her and her team. She's committed to giving back and being diverse. And the thing with her is that, that I don't see any other brand do before is to have representation. And with representation, it's very, good to have in a brand because you have different people that could tell different stories.
Yes. I
And
completely agree.
That's something that I think, more nail brands should, consider more, not just having like brand ambassadors to just try their products.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to really talk about this one topic because I think this is very important. So, you were asked in the Voyage Michigan interview about the importance of risk taking. So, what is your perspective on the importance of taking a risk?
I feel like risk taking in this industry is very vital. I feel like you need to push yourself and
Hmm.
come out of your comfort zone to succeed because you never
Hmm.
know like who you're gonna run into or
Right.
what rooms, what people you could be in what rooms. So I feel like definitely like opening up and just like taking that risk of being scared and being fearful of the unknown.
Hmm.
I gotta say, like when I went to New York, that was like a big risk for me. Even though like wasn't a risk, like a negative risk, it was more so just like me
Right.
being scared and just like putting myself out there.
Right.
Because if you
Hmm.
don't speak up and you don't introduce yourself, you could never know on like what doors could open
Hmm.
for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to put yourself out there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And even if you feel like some of your work ain't your best work, like put it out there anyway, because there's people that'll actually like it.
And you know what's crazy? I feel like a lot of the things that like stuff that I post, I'm like, I don't even like it. I don't even want to post it. And that's the stuff that like really hits. And I'm like, why do
Right.
you like this stuff? And I'm like, I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting because people sometimes, they go by their own aesthetic, but also too, it's because of the
Yeah.
algorithm too.
The
You know what I
algorithm is
mean?
crazy.
And the algorithm is so weird because you'll get 1,000 likes on something or
Mhm.
1,000 views. Next, you have like 48 views or like
Man,
100
I'm
views.
like, what
It's crazy.
happened? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. It's just so odd, to
Yeah.
me. It's just mind-boggling sometimes. But what is your perspective in regards to also nail education and where it's headed?
Nail education. I feel like everybody should be just like continuously educating themselves, whether
Mhm.
that's taking classes, watching videos, going on Instagram and watching tutorials. Like you can find anything on Instagram, really. Like
Mhm.
even if like you're paying for a subscription to watch somebody teach you to do something, at least you're like
Mhm.
educating yourself and furthering your career because
Right.
you're learning new techniques
Mhm.
and learning new ways to do things, which is like expanding your knowledge
Mhm.
in those areas, and that can add to like your service list and
Right.
add to just your what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Your like your resume, you know.
Right.
Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I take classes whenever I can. I'm like, I really want to take classes that are like outside of the state, but sometimes it's hard with my schedule because I'm like month
Mhm.
to month it books up, so I got to do that in advance. So
Right.
I do like to take a lot of like online classes too, which is
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really, really cool. Now, how have you been able to balance being a nail artist with mental health?
I feel like the job that I have, and I don't know if I can speak for other nail artists, but it's like we have
Mhm.
more flexible schedules. Like we
Right.
choose when we want to work and when we don't want to work, right? Whether
Right.
it's being maybe if it's different if you're at a salon and it's a
Mhm.
little bit different environment, but being on your own and having your own schedule, you can choose when you want to come in, when you don't. And some days it's like hard. Like not everybody wants to get out of bed every day. Some people are going
Right.
through it mentally, and so
Mhm.
I feel like having a job where I'm able to take that time off is amazing for me. And also
Mhm.
like having clientele and having clients that understand and are there
Mhm.
for you is huge too. Like a lot of my clients
Mhm.
I've had for a few years now and they kind of get it. And when they're going through something, I'm like, I get it too. Like we can work something out. We can just
Right.
accommodate you, reschedule. So I think
Mhm.
that's really big. And just like having support systems behind you, whether that be like community, family, friends, coworkers, like
Right.
I consider all those people to be my support system, which is awesome. So I think
Mhm.
mental health is big and we really need to, take that into consideration in the line of
Mhm.
work that we do. It's a
Yeah.
lot. We work with people, we like therapists,
Yeah.
artists, it's like everything all in one. So
Right. Right. Yeah, we're wearing like so many different hats. Not only you're a
man,
nail artist, servicing clients and other people, but
yeah.
it's also you got to market yourself.
Mhm.
You got to promote what you do, your
Content
brand.
creator,
Yeah,
yeah,
content creator. You know what I mean? It's just so many hats that we wear.
yes.
And so that's the thing with that. But I definitely want to shift gears and talk about nail artists. So if you had a top 5 list of your favorite nail artists, who would they be and why?
That's so hard. I love everybody. I would say Nail by Top. I've Nailed by Top was the like first girl I saw when I first started doing nails. And it's funny because she's from Detroit too. Well, she's from Macomb. And I actually knew her from like a friend because my friend lived with her in LA while she was doing nails from her
Right.
like apartment studio. So I'm like, I love Top. She came get her nails done by me. I haven't seen her in a while, but love her work. Nail jerks. I am obsessed with nail jerk stuff. Love her airbrushing. I would say Sugar Mama Nails is really sweet too. Like her texture and just like the chrome is sick. Put them in a coffin. Nails by Dev, and have another one, Bad Good Girl Nails. I love her too. I had to have 6.
Yeah, I think Sugar Mama Nails and Bad Girl Good Nails. I don't know
their texture and chrome is like unreal. I'm like, how did you do this? Mine does not look like that.
yeah, they're very, very tiny. They're both from France, I believe.
Yeah, I think Paris or France. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, they're in like Paris, France, you know. But also another nail artist you should check out is Nails Up. Her name is
Nails
Eva,
Up?
and she Nails Up.
Nails and then UP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So her name is Eva, and she's from France too, and she's a cool nail artist.
Really, I gotta check her out.
Yeah, her stuff is really, really phenomenal. And I definitely want to go ahead and really ask, like, just in regards to just being in the nail industry with your experience, if you had one remarkable piece of advice for up and coming nail techs and nail artists, what would it be?
One piece of advice, that is so hard. I would say be yourself, like hone down on your creativity and like the skills that you know you're really good at, just like really focus on those and just keep pursuing them and keep devoting your time and practicing and learning and just like expanding your skills and meeting other people and making connections, because that's what's really going to get you far in the industry. And I feel like I need to take that advice too, because I'm still new in the game. So it's like, I still have a lot to learn and I need to do things as well. So I would say, yeah, it's definitely a big piece of information we need to, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Last but not least, where can people find on social media and how can people support you and your work?
So you can find me on social media at Nailed by Liv with 3 underscores. You could also find me and my team's work at the Faness Detroit page on Instagram. You can support me by either following me, showing me love on my page, or just even admiring my work from near or far.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Liv, for jumping onto the show. Your work is absolutely phenomenal. You know, I discovered you on Instagram. Your work is really, really cool. I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much.
So did I. I really appreciate you for having me here and speaking with me today.
Yeah, thank you. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Be sure to check out my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. Bye-bye.